Through the Constitution of Arizona, voters are able to propose new laws or constitutional amendments. They do this through the initiative process. Therefore, initiatives are a method in which the voting citizens of Arizona can propose new laws or amend existing laws. They do this by collecting signatures from Arizona registered voters, and then the law or amendment can be placed on the ballot. In order to prepare an initiative, a political committee through the Arizona Secretary of State must be formed. This then designates a political committee to act as the petition sponsor. Prior to the step of obtaining signatures, there is some administrative steps that must be taken first. The committee must file an application for a serial number, and this then enacts the appropriate initiative petition from the Arizona Secretary of State's office. Petitions are then circulated to collect signatures. They are circulated by the committees that were formed. The signatures must then be filed at least 4 months prior to the next general election. And if enough valid signatures are submitted, then the proposed law or constitutional amendment will be placed on the next ballot. The qualification requirements are signatures from 15% of qualified electors for a constitutional amendment and 10% of qualified electors for a statutory amendment. This essentially means that 15% of registered voters must sign in order for it to be qualified for a constitutional amendment, and 10% of registered voters must sign the petition for a statutory amendment. While an initiative is the process in which a law is proposed, a referendum is the method in which voters may veto a law that was recently passed. Similarly to the initiative process, a political committee must be formed to be designated as the petition sponsor, and then the sponsor must apply for a serial number. However, the signatures required differs from an initiative in addition to the deadline the signatures are due. The minimum number of signatures required must be equal to 5% of the number of votes casted during the election on the law that was passed. The signatures are due no later than 90 days after the measure was passed. If it is determined that there were enough signatures, then the measure will then be placed on the upcoming ballot. The pros to initiative and referendums is that virtually any citizen in Arizona can be a participant in the lawmaking process. Furthermore, it is politically neutral because it can be employed by all kinds of groups for all kinds of causes. It's a great tool that provides the general public the means to take action instead of waiting for their legislators to take action or lack thereof. A major con is that there must be adequate financial backing in order to fund a campaign and collect these signatures. Many groups and committees do not have the financial backing to effectively gather signatures and run a campaign. Therefore, oftentimes those who participate and have the financial backing to do these initiatives and referendums don't always have the best interests of Arizona at heart. Therefore, a question posed is that, is the initiative and referendum process a true representation of the Arizona people? A pro to the process, however, is that it does require a certain percentage of registered voters and therefore requires these committees to seek out valid signatures. Direct democracy is the form of government where laws and policies are proposed by the majority of the people and not by a body of elected representatives. This differs from our federal government, which is not a direct democracy, but a republic. This is why we have the Senate and House of Representatives. This body of people is what proposed the laws for our federal government. However, in Arizona, we are run by a direct democracy, which in the Arizona Constitution, Article 2 states that the political power is inherent of the people, thus supporting this direct democracy idea. The initiative and referendum process supports this idea by placing the power with the people again. The people of Arizona are able to form these committees. The people of Arizona are required to seek out signatures from other Arizona citizens. And these Arizona citizens that sign these petitions are registered voters for Arizona. Therefore, every single step of this process is inherently placed on the people of Arizona and thus supports a direct democracy.